This is Made to Build by the HIA, the podcast that gets into real stuff that matters in residential building. The wins, the lessons, and practical tips from people shaping the industry today. Kim and Chris, welcome.
Hello, and thank you for having us. I now go into schools and teach kids plastering, and I go and put my passion and enjoyment into helping women in the industry. Do I know the trade? Can I do the trade? No. But I'm happy to admit that because I feel that every person in every industry has a very important role to play, and so do I in our business. Now we pay a marketing team. Uniforms, I'm very strict on our uniforms. Our guys are in collared shirts. They are clean, they're presentable, they're well mannered. We would have scored at least 80% of new business through social media for the first 3 or 4 years. Yeah. Easy.
I was literally working at IGA and All Trades rocked up and they're like, do you want a job? Ended up choosing plastering, and then away we went with that.
You can really tell apart a good gyp rocker to a bad one, right?
Yeah.
It's just neat lines and taking pride in your work. Every detail counts. Like, it's a finished product. It doesn't matter how bad the frame is that the chippies build. Like, we got to fix it in the long run.
We want all our team in 100 degrees time to drive past that house and go, I worked on that, and still be proud of that house, right?
Owen, great to see you back again, mate. It's always good being on the podcast with you.
Yeah, any day with you, Richard's a good day. So we're lucky here.
Keep it up. Keep it up.
Yeah,
I love
keep it up.
So look, today I'm going to introduce two people that have managed to double their business year on year for the last 4 or 5 years running.
Yeah, yep.
Which is almost unheard of. Like, you hear about it in software businesses and that sort of thing, but in the trades or construction space, it's very unusual. So when we first started doing these podcasts, we promised you that we would always introduce guests who have got something unique and special that they can share with you. I love this story, and I'm super pumped to talk with Kim and Chris Allen from CRA Constructions. So Kim and Chris, welcome.
Hello, and thank you for having us.
That's great. And so, look, tell me, the story, I think that the story of having a business that doubles year on year is a story in itself. Yep. So would you like to share with us why and how and like, how did this all happen? Like, what was the backstory? What was the journey? How did it happen?
Yeah, so it started from our kitchen table. Chris was in a prior business partnership that I was not involved in. Okay. He exited that one very quickly, and we went, what do we do? I was on maternity leave, and we said, well, we don't want to go work for someone else. We'll go and set up our own thing. But the agreement very much so was, let's do it together, because there was a lot of frustrations from my end with the prior business. Okay. So I said, I want to be involved. So that started out in 2018, and we have, we've quickly grown from there. So we were quoting well into the night. I was on site cleaning. Chris was back on the tools until we could get enough business to hire the team that we left behind.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And so just with that doubling year on year, what were the I want to jump into the good stuff straight away.
Yeah, go for it.
What
Love
were
it.
the things that you did that drove that?
Yeah, so
It was all marketing, I reckon, and that's where Kim came into it. That's what we didn't really use in the last business, and that was a gold mine we sort of had and started using, and then it was all social media, I think, and then utilising it properly. We never really did until Kim got involved, sort of thing. Yep. And then skyrocketed.
We would have scored at least 80% of new business through social media for the first 3 or 4 years. Yeah. Easy.
That's huge.
It was residential based. That's where we went back into residential focus for the first probably 4 or 5 years. And we chose to go down that avenue because no other plastering company was doing it that I could see, or doing it well.
Okay.
They were not unique. They were not showcasing who they were as people or what they could offer in general. Yep. We had builders coming to us going, who's doing your social media? I want them. And I'm like, oh, it's just me. It's just me trying to figure it out.
Yeah, sure.
But we had to stand out from the rest. We didn't know what we were doing. We were new to running a business, and we knew that we needed, we're plasterers. So at the end of the day, the builder has to either, their relationship with their prior plasterer has to diminish, or they have to have a reason why they have to go looking again.
They've got to have a pain point to change.
Yeah, yeah. And what better way for us to stand out than social media?
And so in the role that you're each playing, what's your role in the business, Kim, and also after that yours, Chris?
Yeah, today I'm CEO.
Yep.
And Chris, you would call him a managing director.
Yeah, so just manage all the issues on site, clients, new
So you'd
clients.
say that like as the lead tradesperson on site or leading director on site?
Yeah,
He's got soft
off-site,
hands these days.
Yeah, I get blisters nowadays.
It's something I'd like to touch on too, Chris, because to the best of my knowledge, you started as a mature age apprentice in 2007.
Yep.
Can you walk us through a bit of that story, because it's quite a long time ago?
Yep. I was literally working at IGA and All Trades rocked up and they're like, do you want a job? Ended up choosing plastering, and then away we went with that.
So was that before you had met Kim?
Yeah, way before met Kim.
Not way.
Yeah,
so
way.
I met you in the last year of your apprenticeship.
Yeah, all
And
right.
was that a 4-year, 5-year?
Yeah, 4-year apprenticeship. Pretty much stayed with All Trades the whole time, and then through the host from All Trades, and then.
So is that a residential subcontracting company, or how are they structured?
Yeah, so they are a third-party facilitator essentially. So they source, find, and they educate the apprentices. So they'll organise them to go to TAFE, etc.
Yep.
And then they find a host. So that'll be a qualified plasterer or someone independent looking to take on an apprentice but doesn't want to take the risk. So they pay a higher fee to have them host this apprentice on their behalf instead of having them as a full-time employee. It means that should the apprenticeship not work out, they can just say, sorry, too bad, too sad, and then it's the host's responsibility to find it's All Trades' responsibility to find a new employer.
So it doesn't fall back on the private company itself?
Correct, yeah.
It's a safety net, really.
It is, very much so. Yeah, It's an expensive way, but it's a lot to it.
Yeah. Okay.
So you did that, then you met Kim.
Yep, met Kim.
And is that when you guys sat at the dinner table and had that conversation?
Oh, there was a bit of a journey around that, I think. We sort of got forced into ABM work, as you do.
Sorry to cut you off. So when I met Chris, he turned around to me and said, at the end of my apprenticeship, it's coming up we moved in together in March, and December he was finishing up. Within that period of time, he was told your apprenticeship will end and you have to go on ABN. Right. You have to become a sole trader. No choices. This is the only option that you have. So we chose within that time to find a way to buy a house because we're still on wages, because all we heard were rumours, when you're self-employed, you've got to have 2 years of financials, et cetera, to be able to prove your income. So that was our mission in that regard. But when Chris finished his apprenticeship and went on ABN, he got offered $30 an hour hourly rate, no super paid, and we all of a sudden were self-employed on that money, where we had to buy all the new tools that he needed. He wasn't fully experienced in all facets of the trade. He all of a sudden became liable for the work that he was doing. He had no fallback, and he was just out of his apprenticeship. And we pretty well lived on $5 an hour.
Yeah.
So, Yep. And no guarantee that we're actually going to get paid.
Yeah, okay.
So you guys really have worked from the bottom up.
1,000%, yeah.
For sure.
And we've flipped that into our business today. So this is what set our values and how we run our business to be able to align with what we've experienced to what we don't want anyone else in the industry to experience.
Yep. Wow. Yep. There's a book by a guy by the name of Jim Collins, and it's called Good to Great. And one of the examples he uses in that, it's a business book, but he uses an example about being on the bus. So having the right people on the bus. So the idea is that you'd have the people in your business that have the right attitude, the right, not even necessarily the right skills, but really just the culturally and attitudinally wise. Is that a word? Attitudinal.
Approved.
Anyway,
Approved.
the right attitude. But really, the And so that's when they're the people you want to have on the bus. But then what he says, to take the analogy further, is he says, you've got to have the right people in the right seats. And so you guys are both at this stage of the story. You're both keen, you're pumped, you're wanting to go to the next level. How did you work out who sat in what seat, who did each role, and all that sort of thing?
We juggled and trialed and errored.
We trialed and error for so long. We butt heads for so long.
Argue, fight.
And we, we came to where do our strengths lie?
Yep.
So, and how can we make the most of them?
Okay.
Chris has always been supervising, managing the team, and problem solving on site. I have always been the back end. And then as we've grown the business, we've had to hire people to take on elements of our job description per se, to be able to then relieve our time to grow the business again. And that in turn we've had to evolve again into what we do. And we are very, very clear on what our roles are now, what our departments are per se. So much so that when we first bought our warehouse, we built soundproof walls in between our offices because...
Richard, we need to do this. Already.
Because I was so over. We sat on this, 2-metre desk together in our home for so long.
It was in our walk-in wardrobe that we converted to an office.
And he's clicking his pens, he's eating his lunch, and he's
just breathing,
and just breathing too loud. And every time this is happening, I'm reading my sentence over and over and 10 times over. I'm like, come on, give me some courtesy here.
Yeah.
So we've every time we're very good at, something goes wrong, how can we fix it? How can we make it better?
Yep.
So it's worked with our relationship, but it's also worked with our business.
Yeah. So it sounds like there are different layers to that, though. There's like, the right bum in the right seat, but also learning to work together, so you're a husband and wife, but learning to work together in a way that is going to mean that you both feel fulfilled, and you're delivering and you're succeeding and making that work. So it sounds like it's been a journey to work through many different things.
Yeah, it hasn't ended.
No.
We're still rolling, going through the roller coasters.
Yeah, we do.
All.
But it's finding. So I'm not a plasterer. Chris has always been the plasterer.
Yep.
So it's always I've had to find what my passion is. In plastering. So to begin with, it was marketing. I could put my head in. I could get it to a point. We're now big enough where I hire a marketing team to help me facilitate that.
Yep.
But I now go into schools and teach kids plastering, and I go and put my passion and enjoyment into helping women in the industry, because that's what makes me thrive and keeps my heart full in what I'm doing, instead of constantly feeling like I am in this business that is not my own. Like I haven't created it as my own.
Yeah.
Kim, did you go back to, say, like ground zero with plastering to learn some of the trade at all?
Yeah. I went on site. I get my rocks off being able to cart sheets with the boys, because often the apprentices will be crying, literally crying, and I'm still pumping away, going, come on, boys, carrying it with them.
Them into line pretty quickly.
It does. I love it. But it's, when we first started, I would be the cleaning lady, and I would go and drop off materials. I would do whatever I could. Do I know the trade? Can I do the trade? No. But I'm happy to admit that, because I feel that every person in every industry has a very important role to play, and so do I in our business.
Yeah.
And that's not being on the tools.
So, Chris, on site, how have you noticed a shift in dynamic with Kim going into like a CEO role? Has it changed on site with your team? Because you obviously have quite a large team.
Yeah.
Given your turnover this year.
Yeah, it's been definitely a journey with that again. Like when we first started, everyone was used to me being the boss and everything, and then the transition was hard. Like getting Kim respect from the boys was hard, making me understand how to, I guess, get the boys to respect her, and then me in turn respecting Kim, not realizing I'm like...
Yeah, I mean, it can be a blokey industry.
Yeah. You sort of, it's learning through all that, and just educating yourself on like what's needed, what's acceptable, what's like you don't even realize you're doing half the stuff that you're doing. Like I was calling Kim the missus, and it didn't end up going down well, but I didn't realize the whole time she's like, this is niggling her. And then
So I went up to Chris one day and said, "Hi, my name's Kim. Nice to meet you. Start calling it me by it, please." Because that's literally what it took for him to click and go, holy cow. And it was, if you need to start showing me respect in order for others to start seeing that respect and showing me in return. So the team that we brought over from our old company were always working under Chris and had no association with me. So, and then we named our company CRA, which is Chris's initials. And we did that in a very stressed point of our lives, creating this business. So we didn't really think too much into it other than sticking it to our old business partner. So it came to, for the first 3 years, I genuinely thought it was his business. And it took me to get my head around it and then start flipping the switch on how I handled our team and how I led our team to be able to then get their respect in return.
Okay.
What were the highs and lows of that emotional journey for you? Because it sounds like you were alone for a lot of it.
Yeah, very much so. So up until the end of COVID, I would only speak to the boys and my kids, really.
Yeah.
Very much so alone, very, very deep in the rabbit hole of feeling sad for myself and, well, depressed, because that's all I got to speak about or speak to. It got to the point where I've had to dig myself out to gain my own confidence and gain my own respect and an understanding of what my place is in the business. And yes, it is my business, to be able to gain some authority and understanding that I can step up. I need to step up. The moment I did, our business took off. Yeah.
I think there's a point in everyone's career where you feel as though you've proven yourself to yourself and the others that you're working with. In your career, like, was there a particular point when you felt like, okay, I've really proven myself here. I have respect from my crew, my husband, society as a whole, and I feel I'm really pushing the industry in like a good way?
Yeah, I would say the last year has been significant for us. I released my personal branding to be able to put a face to my role in the business. And in turn, through that branding, I go into the schools and I show the kids plastering and I mentor women and whatnot. That's allowed me to go, I truly, truly belong and I have something to give back. It took away the imposter syndrome. That I don't belong.
It's a good, that imposter syndrome, it's an interesting concept. For those who aren't familiar with it, it's basically the idea of you're doing a job where you don't truly believe that you're capable of doing it or that you're the right fit for the job and that sort of thing. So in that sort of situation, I imagine it would be easy to fall into that syndrome.
Yeah.
What were the things that you kept on telling yourself to avoid that?
To avoid falling down there, that I belong here. I deserve to be here. A big thing for women in the industry, in roles that I've been in, husband-wife relationship, the females often don't get paid. That's you feel it's your husband's business. You feel that you have no worth, that you're just helping them out. It took me to flip that to, we've always gone 50-50, no matter what income we've taken from the business. We started taking 40 grand as a joint income for the first few years, like you take nothing. But every time we've increased our income, it's always been 50-50. It gives me self-worth. I feel it's like a insurance policy. If someone were to ever step in and replace me or one of us, that the business can afford to do that and hire someone else for that role. And that's, you're worthy of that.
I reckon our biggest win with all that is the way we set it all up is I can't run CRA without Kim and she can't run it without me. So there's no like any argument. It's like we got to sort it out. No one can do it without the other one. So I think once we decided that early on in the piece to go down that avenue and just call it at that, to go,
That's a really good way of putting it, because it is. It means that you're in for a penny, in for a pound.
Yeah.
You're basically saying, hey, we're in this together. It won't work without both of us. We're both committed to it. We both own it. We both. There's a real equality about that.
Yeah.
neither one can quit.
I've tried so many times. And we come to heads. Like we have fought many a time,
Yeah.
you know, when we've got an opinion about something.
There would be a lot of builders and builders partners who would be listening to this. What are some of the practical tips that you can give if you're in business with your life partner? What are some of the practical tips you might give to those who are in a similar situation? Because let's face it, you know, rarely will we ever all see eye to eye on something, particularly if it's work and home life.
Yeah.
How would you sort of approach that?
Have the arguments.
But it's
don't
not
sit
an
on
argument,
them.
it's a discussion. And that's the biggest thing.
It becomes an argument if you don't talk about it.
Yep.
So
Communication. You have to keep it flowing.
So it's early to address it.
100%.
Yeah.
And we've let it, like, we are a work in progress. And so we're saying that because we've been in the trenches of not communicating and then coming to brawls at home, even in front of our kids when we're working from home. It's not healthy. It's not healthy for anyone.
Yep.
So you have to acknowledge that and go, how can I not do that? And that's where we both deserve an opinion and a voice.
Yep. So what you're saying, it's not just important to nut it out early on for the business, but also for your family life.
1,000%. Yeah,
See,
because it's a knock-on effect.
I think it's called an argument when you're husband and wife, but if we were just solely business partners, it'd just be a discussion. But everyone in the office are like, oh,
Mum and Dad are fighting.
Yeah.
No.
Do you think that has helped you guys grow more? That you are in a relationship?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Because we understand each other deeply. Like I can read Chris just by looking at him and get a feel for, okay, he's not okay.
Yep.
And I'll pull him into my office, close the door, and what's going on?
Yep.
Compared to if you're in a business partnership, you tiptoe around each other's feelings, concerns. So it's a lot easier to address, I feel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agree.
I've got a question for you, Chris. And I know you touched on, some of the things that you've adjusted, in the way of, talk rather than referring to Kim as the missus.
Yeah.
She's Kim. A lot of the builders listening to this will, be in a situation whereby they've got a partner who's wanting to see their business succeed. And clearly you guys have done it. You've got runs on the board. Okay. So you've got to, you've done that double year on year, which blows my mind. That's awesome. What are the things that you had to stop doing and the things that you had to start doing? It's a bit of a double-barrel question, isn't it? So if you think about all of the things that you changed for you personally, when Kim came in as in that CEO role, what were they?
So when we first started, Kim would reply to all emails as me. So that was a big one. So once she stopped doing that and owning that it was her responding to these emails, everyone would just go, thinking everything's me, all the social media is me. I'd always pass it on to Kim. I'm like, no, this has got nothing to do with me. I don't even have social media. Yep. And then you get all these compliments. It's, I think, acknowledging everything Kim was doing. Like, the growth was from Kim. It wasn't from me. It was from purely social media. And then
we had to do well on site too. Let's give Chris some credit. But
the growth, we wouldn't have got that growth without that. And I was skeptical, very, very skeptical of going, are we throwing all this money in? No one else in the plastering industry is doing it. I was very skeptical.
Where were you throwing the money into?
So social media comes down to, now we pay a marketing team. We have bought a fleet of cars, so we write them. Uniforms, I'm very strict on our uniforms. Our guys, I'm trying to change the plastering industry from being known as crackheads. So all our team are in collared shirts. They are clean, they're presentable, they're well-mannered. It's creating that brand and following through with that brand. And that's where a lot of our money marketing goes into. So, and he has fought me for every single decision. We don't need that. No one else does it. Why do we have to do it? It's constant. And I just say, stick to my guns.
It was something I was looking to touch on because from my perspective as a carpenter by trade, every day I'm collared shirt, King G's, same colorway, nice clean boots.
Yes.
And there's a stigma around the gyprocking trade as a
Yes.
whole that there are a lot of imports doing
Yes.
it.
Yes.
High-vis shirts can't speak English, right?
Yes.
You guys have such a high-value product, and it's it's really good to see that you are promoting this and putting the money where it does count
Yeah.
to lift the trade, especially.
When I go into schools and I'm talking to the kids, they all get introduced to what a carpenter is, what a builder is, electrician, plumber,
Yeah.
but no specialty trade.
Yep.
And for them to understand and know and respect that plastering is an option, I call all my team artistes because it's an art when you're applying this setting compound onto the wall, right?
Yep.
You've got to align, you've got to have precision, you've got to have the eye for detail. And for any of the kids, when I go to talk to them about it, if they're good at art, I say, this is an option, guys. You can get on the tools. And it's surprising those that actually follow through with it. It's awesome to see. But the trades that are introduced at schools are always the most respected trades, I feel. So, and this is because they present themselves well. Electricians, plumbers, typically, and along with carpenters, are all presented cleanly on site. So why should it be any different? We all deal with a mess, definitely plumbers, but, you know, we all come up and make ourselves presentable. So it's important.
Yep.
Going back to what you said about like artiste, whatever it might be, I think that's actually really, really true. And Chris, I wanted to see if you can testify to this because you can really tell apart a good gyprocker to a bad one, right?
Yeah.
Can you walk us through some of your experience going from, say, lower level residential sites to your high-end commercial ones, which you guys engage with in now?
Well, if you talk to Kim and about the laundry when I used to be on the tours, I was a messy plasterer.
The guys
But
don't
you can be messy and be good, right?
Yeah, you can be messy and good.
Yeah.
No, it's just neat lines, I guess, and taking pride in your work. Not, every detail counts. Like it's a finished product. Doesn't matter how bad the frame is that the chippies build. Like we got to fix it in the long run, and as long as our guys have got that sort of respect for themselves and the CRA, that we're not going to hand over a crap product just because we got dealt a crap hand. We're still going to honour like our integrity and hand over. That's what makes a good plasterer, really. It's the stuff you don't hide and you fix, I think.
We want all our... Oh, sorry.
No, you go, Kim.
We want all our team in 100 degrees time to drive past that house and go, I worked on that, and still be proud of that house, right?
Yep.
We want them to feel that that finished product is a huge tick on their achievement list. And it should be for every single home. But we go above and beyond Australian standards. There's those that undercut and do it quick and cheap. We tell all our teams, slow it down, do it right, do it where you're proud of it. Stop all, we don't want to pre-paint. We don't want to have to come back. We don't want the builder to ever call us and say, what's going on here? It's not okay.
If the owner's not happy, they're not happy. You know what I mean? There's no point quoting a tolerance that, you're going to get away with.
Yep.
Like, you can get away with a lot in tolerances.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy.
So, can I throw an example your way? Say something that you wouldn't typically see, maybe in like prefabricated trusses where you have the ceiling joist going through. Say there's a 5-6 mil discrepancy, right? No one's ever going to see it, but your boys notice it as they're putting up the sheets.
Yeah.
What's your resolution look like with that? Do they stop and say, hey, get the chippies back here, we need to fix this? Or will they just slap the sheets up and...
Nah, we'll stop. Like, the boys all know that's going to cost CRA money one way or another.
Yeah.
Like, we're going to fix it regardless. They'll try and get the chippies on site.
Yep.
Some builders are better than others. If they can't fix it, get the chippies to fix it. Like, it's pretty easy to fix a frame with gyprock. You can just pack it out and undo the screws, pack it out, get it right. Like,
so is that one of the key differences with CRA, being that you have everyone's employed full time?
Yeah.
And that they're not subcontractors being paid by the job?
Correct.
Yeah,
We're
it's our
communication.
Our control
It's
it's all back towards us, the company. It's not a subcontractor just going, no, frames, I didn't have to deal with it. They didn't meet tolerances. Where we've got a process where it's like, no, shitty frames. It doesn't matter. We're fixing
Yeah.
it. We're getting it right.
And
That's awesome.
Have you found that that's generated and stimulated more business from more clients, from more? Do you know what I mean? In other words, it's that approach to it has actually driven your growth.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
That's our word of mouth in Resi.
Yep.
It is a very hard slog. Obviously, you're talking about the foreign market in plastering. This is the yin and yang we're dealing with, and
Yep.
you're competing with people who don't even have licenses. So it is hard. It's educating builders, which is where the social media comes in.
Yeah.
Okay.
But there is a large market for you guys because it's so hard to find good gyprockers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
correct. But it also comes down to sometimes the builder might not have the budget for us.
Yeah,
So
100%.
Yep.
Yeah.
it's at the end of the day, they might want us and they get us to quote,
Yep.
but we may not align with their budget. So
Yeah.
when we're working with a builder, typically we get in at their initial quote stage and we will quote for them then. So they are taking into account realistically what we cost.
Yeah.
So they're not getting scared down the track going, where am I going to find this extra money?
Yeah.
Or needing to go to a lower class finish. So,
Has your target market shifted with the progression of your company?
yeah, absolutely. When we first started, we just wanted anyone.
Yeah.
We just
Give
wanted
us
the
work.
work. We had to feed our children.
Go make a hole in that wall and we'll patch it.
We have aligned, we have values, and that is integrity, communication, professionalism, and that follows through for us on site. So we are choosing the builders we work for now, because at the end of the day, we don't want to work for someone who won't respect us on site. Often we get on site and our team are disrespected. We walk onto a site that's unsafe, messy.
Yep.
We are choosing the builders that we want to follow through with work for these days, because it's we don't want to be able to go down an avenue where we're accepting all the work and then our team are treated poorly. It's a reflection on our culture and it's a reflection on our team's mental health.
Kim, you've used some words there that I've been jotting down as we went, and they're not words that I would normally associate with the plastering industry. So, artistes, uniforms, clean uniforms, doing it right, no matter how long it takes you. So slowing down and the whole integrity. The thing about being proud of your work. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm not saying all plasterers are not proud of their work, but that's a massive cultural shift.
It is.
And
Yeah.
so, as in your role as CEO, what does that look like? Like, how do you implement that culture? And what were the things you did to flip that round? Because it's gold, but it's very easy to talk about culture, but how do you do it?
Yeah, this is where, going back to where Chris and I butt heads a lot. So I come up with these great ideas and say, this is what we're doing. And he just goes, what? And then I have to justify. So it comes down to every single one in our team. They're not our staff. They are our team, for one. It's how we as business owners associate with them.
Yep.
So 1,000%, our team, we want them to be safe on site, go home safe to their families, be able to put their family first, and to be able to enjoy coming to work every single day.
Yep.
We have tolerated in our trade, and I see it because I'm not on site, I just get the backlash of our team being treated poorly on site.
Okay.
By other builders, by other trades, by tradesmen treating apprentices poorly. And that, I believe, all comes down to culture.
Yep.
So I want everyone to be treated evenly. So no matter what your role is in the industry, I might be CEO, but it doesn't mean I get to talk poorly to you.
Sure.
Doesn't mean I get to shout and abuse and swear at you.
Yep.
If I show respect to you, you will show respect to me in turn, no matter what your role is.
Yeah.
And that's where me being female and being up the top, I am able to implement these things. And the team respect it because they go, well, I respect that you're bringing this to me. They want to work with us and they're proud to work with us because we're having these initiatives. A huge thing for me is mental health. So it's huge in the industry. So our team's mental health is prioritised. And it's not just an EBA, not an EBA, whatever you have to formally do as a large employer, a mental health package.
Yep.
We go further. So I get the guys, don't tell them yet, but we're about to do tradies do Pilates. And then I
Get ready for downward dog on site.
yeah, I have them doing ice baths, breath work,
Wow.
you name it, anything that gets them out of the box. And that's where it brings down to I have more females coming to me that want to join our business because we're having a culture that supports females and appreciates and respects having a female leader.
Yep.
So they enjoy and embrace coming to work for us.
Yeah.
So site, in office, whatever it might be.
Chris is
Without Kim in that role, realistically, CRA would have stayed a boys' club, followed all the direction of all the other CMP companies.
Yeah.
We wouldn't be doing any of that stuff.
But Chris, did you feel as though you had to let go of things?
Oh, big time. Like what tradie gets in an ice bath and does breath work in the morning? Like, I'm like, all right, I'm going to respect Kim. It's her role. We'll give it a go.
He didn't know about Pilates either, so
I'm
don't tell him.
What have we signed up
He'll
to?
be front row.
I got no
Nice.
yoga pants.
Nice. but I think most people when they go into business they tend to be doing it because they want to be the skipper of their own ship.
Yeah.
And so if you were the skipper of the ship, and then we go through that transition whereby, hang on, we've now got the skipper and the first mate or whatever the analogy is. So how has that played out? Like how because there'd be other people that are listening to this that are in a very similar situation to you. They've got a similar dynamic in their business and in their marriage. So
I think you got to be humble. You got to let Kim take the limelight. It's her limelight when she's doing her role well. It's give her the respect that she deserves with that, and it's been hard listening to half this stuff when I've got like our competitors on the other end of the road going like, why the hell are you guys doing all this crap?
why are you doing
And
Pilates?
we get asked it.
And
get asked
I
constantly.
second guess myself every now and then until I
All
see
the time.
Well, yeah, until I see it working, and then you're like, hang on, we're jagging all these top end plasterers, and that's not really anything to do with me. This is to do with the culture, the breathwork. I feel that's the feminine kind.
Energy.
Yeah, it's the input coming from Kim that I think it's a gold mine builders should be digging into.
Embracing.
I think utilising the whole
It's
husband
just
and
respect
wife
for
team.
one another, respect for your role, and being able to accept each other's role that we play.
We're going into 2025. We're really getting into the year now. And like you said before, Chris, we're trying to shift the industry somewhat from being a real boys club and it's just about the men to opening it up to more women like yourself coming into it. And now you clearly embody such a great culture that helps promote women and also still even men within your own industry. What does that look like going forward for you guys?
Yeah, well, look, at the end of the day, I'm not quiet about it. So we're premium sponsors for International Women's Day. We are, I'm out public speaking about what I'm doing and trying to, I want as many women as possible to have a voice, to be heard and to find their confidence to do that. It's acknowledging that in changing the industry, that acknowledging what the industry is and that it's okay to change. So there are so many points that it's amazing to work in our industry if you look at it in that regard. If you get bogged down in just a job every day, then you're not going to enjoy coming to work, are you? You're here for a career. You're here for progression. You're here for growth and to be passionate about what you do.
What I'm looking forward to, the dynamics of getting our first tradie operational, like that's a girl, is our guys, like even going
So
in.
is she an apprentice now?
Yeah, an apprentice now. It's going into sites like people's homes and whatnot. Some of our guys are like, it feels a bit intimidating going into a lady's house when you're two big macho men.
Oh, the
They're-
boys are like, she
like,
didn't have any clothes on, or I didn't know where to look.
I don't want to go into her bedroom. Like having that dynamic of a chick that I feel that helps that out a lot.
Yeah.
It
And
diversifies your company, really.
yeah,
Yeah,
it-
yeah.
and it makes like there's homeowners that feel more comfortable,
Yeah.
obviously.
But it also softens everyone on site. It reduces the testosterone.
Yeah,
It
100%.
brings a balance. Boys or guys, men, whatever you would like to be, you're all of a sudden going, "Ooh, can I swear? Ooh, can I say this? Ooh, is this acceptable?" You know, it's making females realize that it's okay to be themselves. They don't have to be one of the boys.
Yep.
Yeah.
You're not here to, you know, slander yourself or disrespect yourself. If you come in with respect and honesty of who you are and honour that,
Yep.
everyone will respect you more.
Yeah.
It's going to be a journey still. Like
Oh,
while we were
1000%.
talking about that Sparky apprentice, that like I don't even know how you deal with like complaints and
So mentoring, I'm having a lot of feedback where the girls are going to site degrading themselves,
Yeah,
where they're
okay.
trying to fit into the boys' club. And unfortunately, they haven't been given the guidance
Yep,
into how to navigate that.
Yep.
And it's not nice. It's not nice for anyone. The guys are too scared to go near them because it's a sexual harassment potentially waiting.
Kim, can I ask you one more question before we sign off? If you're speaking to a girl who's in year 10 or 11, she's not sure where she wants to go, whether she wants to be a carpenter, work in an office, whatever it might be, in a sentence or two, how could you summarize how they can feel empowered and safe to enter an industry that's highly male dominated?
Yeah, absolutely. So I
Dominated.
have a lot of girls come up to me that age group.
Yep.
And they go, well, I don't actually know how to, you know, I have a guy, I go onto site and he stands a little bit too close to my comfort.
Yeah.
What do I do? I'm like, you have to voice that to him gently, just step away gently and then voice that to your manager. It's starting that conversation. If they don't know what to do on site, try every trade because every trade has a different, it's not just a trade, it's the employer.
Yeah.
Everyone a polar opposite. You know, look at us. We as a plastering business, polar opposite in our industry for, you know, degrading men. It's okay. It's in every single industry. Every single, like there's no denying that, but they just need to try and find their people.
So find your right place within the industry.
Find where you're comfortable,
Yeah.
where will excel your passion and where you'll enjoy working.
Yeah. My question is, there'll be a lot of people who are listening to this that are, you know, that are in the husband and wife approach to business.
Mm-hmm.
What are, say, three bits of advice you would give to those people to see success?
Communication is
Mm-hmm.
non-negotiable.
choose your strengths, I reckon,
Stick
and
to your
own them.
strengths.
Own
Yep,
them,
yep.
I would say.
Right bum in the right seat.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
definitely.
it's your passion. What are you passionate about? What do you enjoy? And figure out your job role in that regard.
Yep.
Give yourself a job description. Pay yourself to suit that job description if your business can afford it.
Yep.
It gives you self-worth, but it also gives you
Yeah.
a responsibility.
Okay.
So be true to yourself and don't shy away from who you are.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Honour yourself. Respect yourself.
So we've got communication, right person in the right job, which has all that flow-on effect. What would be the third one?
Third one.
You got to still love each other. You still got to go home to one another and, you know, smile.
Yep.
So we have we've set boundaries.
Yeah.
We
I'd say
leave work at work.
Leave it at the door.
Yeah,
I would
we leave
say.
work. We've gone from having a home office to having a warehouse, and it was the best decision we could ever make.
Yep.
Because when I leave the warehouse every day and go home, I go into mum mode. I go into this my husband. I
Yes.
love him dearly. He's not my business partner. We're not here to talk about work.
Yep.
Rarely will I allow him to talk about work. He can talk till the days come home about work at home.
Yep.
But I am cutthroat. I can't handle it. I can't relax. And it's honouring your boundaries.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you, Chris and Kim, for coming on today. You guys have done amazing, and it's been great to hear about your industry and more about your company. You guys are really pushing forward what everyone should really aspire to within the industry in terms of culture and your business model. It's really great. So on behalf of Richard and I, thank you so much for coming on today.
Thanks for having us, guys. Appreciate it.
If people want to find you, how can they find you on social media and online?
Yeah, Instagram's huge for us. So CRA Construction.
Yep.
We're on LinkedIn. We're on Facebook. We're on TikTok even, would you believe it? But yeah.
So go on your phone, search CRA, and we'll find you.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. All right, to our guests, thank you so much for tuning in again, and we'll see you in 2 weeks' time with our next guest. Thank you.